Tansi, hello, bonjour, good day, everybody. I'm Dallas Arcand, three-time world champion hoop dancer, and I'm broadcasting to you live from the unceded territory of the Okanagan Nation, better known as the Syilx Nation. And I would like to first and foremost acknowledge that I'm on the traditional territory and lands of the Okanagan, the Syilx people, and it's a great honor to be here and a privilege to be here where the water meets the land and the land meets the sky. And this is such a beautiful place for me to be doing this and sharing this knowledge with you here today. Again, as I mentioned previously in my other videos, this is where my daughter's from, and this is my second home, and I just love it down here. You know, it's my home away from home, if you will. Anyways, I'm going to get right into it. So we're on hoop number 9 now. So that'd be chapter number 9, and I guess it would be moon number 9. So this would be kind of going into September right now. We're into that super moon, that fall moon. And by no means I'm no moon expert, but what I based my hoop dance off of was the number. So the number of hoops that I use has always been something that's been rattling around in my brain. Is I use this many hoops for this reason, this purpose, and the number 13 actually came as a derivative of 12 because an elder explained to me that the moon cycle was our traditional calendar that we followed once upon a time as indigenous people. Our ancestors never had a linear calendar. They had that moon cycle. Every new moon was part of the season, part of the ever evolving, changing seasons in which the animals act different. They behave differently. So a lot of the moon reference has to do with nature's cycle and the way that the animals, the insects, and everything, the plants, they all react and change and move with those seasons. So do we. It's the only law that governs us all as people, as life on earth, is just part of a cycle that we live. So anyways, I'm going to hop right into it with 9 hoops. Now, one of the philosophies that I adapted into my hoop dancing was kind of just thinking about mastering the hoop dance, like thinking of it like a martial art of sorts. So I thought of every single move with every single hoop, and I thought of hoop dancing that way once upon a time, and I still do, in terms of mastery and just doing it the best way you can, and so that's kind of what this whole chapter about chapter 9 is really about in the book. It's about knowing your worth and knowing yourself and getting to become one with yourself again, in the circle and that circle of teaching. So anyways, I'm going to hop right into it with 9 hoops. There's a variety of different things you can do with 9 hoops, but I'm going to jump right into a pattern. So if you remember from lesson number 7, I did that elk formation. So I'm going to kind of do that same formation, but it's just going to be a bigger version of that. And that's the only formation I could think of with 9 hoops that kind of gives you a variety of that. And that's the beauty of nature and the nature of things, is that we can have that different varieties of species, and that's what it teaches us, because hoop dance is based off of land-based teachings, land-based learning, they call it. A lot of our culture is based off of the land, and everything we learn is from the land, from the world around us. Everything, even the stars, the sun, the moon, as I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of different elements to it. So anyways, I'm just going to pop right into it. So I'm going to show you the simple format. So I got 5 on this side, 9 on this side. So the one with 5, what I do is I step in between these 3 hoops, and I leave 2 on the outside like that. So there's 3 on the inside leg. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this inside hoop here, the center hoop. And I'm going to step into it. Then I step into these outer hoops right here. And now I'm kind of separated. I'm equally divided. I got 1 in the center, 2 dangling on each side, 2 holding up your legs, or holding up the ones on your legs. And then what you do here is the same thing on hoop, or in lesson number 7. You drop these inside hoops like that, these inner hoops. So what I'm going to do from here is I'm going to do that on lesson number 4. That's where you use your fingers to separate the hoops like that. Pinky and the pointer like that. So now I have those hoops separated. Now all I got to do is flip them forward like that. And now look at how intricate and huge of a formation that becomes with 9 hoops put forth like that. So we have that 9 hoop formation, and then you could also extend that into doing like sort of like a globe formation like that, where you kind of roll them together. So that's basically what I have for 9 hoops. I don't really have a lot to teach in that respect, other than you can do a variety of other different moves and put together a routine with 9 hoops. You know, again, you can go into you know, making a world or making 2 worlds. So for example, I'll give you some real-time examples. So you could actually make yourself a little world like this. So you make a 3 hoop world like that, simple and easy. Then you can put it down, and then you have another 3 hoop world. So I'm going to put these hoops over like this. So again, 3 hoop world is like this. You just cross the 2 hoops over like that, try to make them equal, and then you put this one over as the equator piece, the center piece, and then you link it all together. So now what we're going to do from here, so here's how we're going to link them all together, all the hoops now, all 9 hoops. So what I'm going to do here, this is a quick way to get into the 3 hoop little mini bird piece. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold these hoops like this. So you could actually do a variety of different things. So say I have my 2 hoop worlds there. I'm going to I'll just step into the hoops like this, and I'll do like a bumblebee formation, which I haven't shared in previous lessons. So this to me just represents for the bumblebee, because I got the wings flapping like this, and I could just fly around the world like this and sort of tell a story, like, you know, tell a story on how the bee flies around the world and it pollinates things. It helps the world. And, you know, without the bees, our world would die, right? So that's the message behind the story, is just showing our appreciation and highlighting that about, you know, everything in our ecosystem serves a purpose. Everything in our world connects worlds. So our world is connected with the bee world, and the bee world's connected with our world and the plant world, and it all works together. So that's why we do these formations, as a reminder of those things, a reminder of our interconnectedness throughout Mother Nature. So what I'm going to do here, and the reason why I'm holding these hoops like this, hinged over the center hoop, is it's going to help me transition into the baby eagle formation, which I'm going to go like this, flip these over like that, bring this up, push the hoops through like that, and there I have my baby eagle formation. And simply all I do from here is I could just reach down now, grab these worlds, and show this formation where I'm holding 2 worlds with the eagle. And it's showing that, and how the eagle flies between the moon and the earth. And then we're under the sun, right? So it kind of tells the story too of how the eagle, the reason why we worship the eagle in our culture is because the eagle is the highest flying bird in our world, because it flies super high. Like they say in our culture, it's our belief that the eagle flies closest to the sun, flies closest to the creator in the spirit world. And it's part of our belief in our culture that when we say our prayers, when we smudge, our prayers go up to the eagle, and the eagle takes our prayers up to the creator. So that's a common belief in our culture, a common practice. So anyways, that's what I have to show with 9 hoops. And that's basically some basics of 9 hoops. There isn't a lot that you can do with 9 hoops, other than if you reconfigured your routine, yeah, you could probably come up with some stuff. I've seen other dancers just use 9 hoops and they make different formations. Now, I don't know what those formations might be, but for me, like this is what makes logical sense to me. And sharing this about 9 hoops, I wanted to show you just kind of how that works. And maybe I have more to discover with 9 hoops. But there you go. There's the notes right there. Because if you try to play around with 9 hoops and come up with different formations, different designs, I've seen other hoop dancers do other designs I've never even seen before, like a big turtle or whatever, right? So there's a couple of different ways you can go about it. So again, I have another design I could do. So this is a bonus design. So again, I'm gonna go into this and show you guys a really quick design. So I seen this design done by some Hawaiian dancers, some dancers from, oh, sorry. My battery power is going low. So I'm going to have to cut this lesson short slightly today after I show you guys this bonus. So there's 2 bonus moves I'm going to show you here with 3 hoops, okay? So I've shown this to a couple of my hoop dance buddies. They never even thought of this before, eh? Like James Jones, he does this move where he takes this and makes a move out of it. And he's really creative, that James Jones, Notorious Cree. Look him up. He's really famous. He's more famous than I am, and I've been doing this longer. But James has just got one of those personalities that is just magnetic, like people just love him because, he's a lovable kind of guy, right? And me, I'm just more of an introvert kind of guy at times, and extroverted when I need to be. Anyways, that's another story. So anyways, I'm going to get into this next move here and tell you about it. So where I first seen this move, I never did see these dancers after I seen this, because I was about 18 years old. That was many moons ago. I was down at the World Championships for hoop dancing. And then I seen these guys from Hawaii. They had a very different style, very unique style. And they're Hawaiians, right? They're indigenous from Hawaii. And there is indigenous people on every continent, by the way. All the way to Norway. You have the Sami people. In the north, you have the Inuit people. And then you have different types of Inuit people. Even in Russia, you got Inuit people way up north. Every continent pretty much has indigenous people, but the ones that are most notable is indigenous North America, of course, because once upon a time, North America was all indigenous people, and because of what happened with the epidemics, a lot of our people got wiped out. Over 90% of indigenous people got wiped out because of epidemics. They didn't have the autobody, or what do you call it, immune system to fight smallpox, and that's what killed a lot of our people off. Anyways, that's a whole nother story. I'm getting sidetracked here. Anyways, I'm gonna show you the move now. So this is the move, and it's really tricky. So on camera it might be hard to learn this one, but all you do is you exchange these hoops like this. So I went from this, so I have these hoops connected like this. This hoop is in front, and then all I do with these is I pull these through like this, and I wiggle them through. And this is really tricky to do with thicker hoops, but it is possible, and it takes a lot of pulling, twisting, turning, and wow, this takes a lot of effort. You basically got to force this through to make this possible. And it was a lot easier for my Hawaiian brothers there that I seen a long time ago do this move, because they had really thin reed hoops, so the smaller hoops are easier. So there you go, you have a long, and when I seen them do it, they did it like this. They did a bird formation like this. So you can see that right here. So this kind of is like a bird formation when you look at it. It's a bird. It's a dragonfly. So it's really cool, And it's really long too. Like it's almost as tall as me. Like this is probably about 4 feet tall, or maybe 5 feet, because I'm 6 feet tall. That's how tall I am. So this is probably about 5 feet. and this is a really tall figurine. So you can do a variety of different things with this. You could put this together and show that the eagle is flying between the moon and the earth. Or you could show how the eagle is connecting worlds, right? So there's a lot of different story elements that you can put with this, and it's just suggestive right now, and I'm only suggesting some of these elements be brought together with that singular move, in which came from my Hawaiian brothers. Now, I'm one of the only very few people that know that move, aside from what I've shared with James and how he was able to kind of bring that new life, and he actually created a pretty cool move. I don't know what he calls it, but you know, a lot of the hoop dancers, I never really ask what their moves are, because a lot of it it's just a dance where we're dancing and connecting with hoops, and not everything has a literal meaning and a literal name or whatever, right? So not everything in our culture is very literal. It just is, right? It's just like a tree, you know. A scientist will look at it and break down the anatomy and study the tree rings and the photosynthesis of the leaves and all that. But in our culture, we have a different way of doing that. We believe everything in the world has a spirit. You know, the rocks, the plants, the insects, everything. So one of the things I practice in my own everyday life is, you know, don't kill a bug just because it's a bug, right? I don't go and step on ants, or, you know, maybe when I was younger and I didn't know any better. We respect all life. That's basically the overall teaching, is to respect all life, all living things. You know, just because an ant is really small doesn't mean you go and step on it. Same thing with a spider. Just because a spider is freaky looking, you don't kill it. I catch them. Even if they're poisonous ones, I'll catch them and I'll put them in a cup, then I'll release them, even if I get at risk of being bit, right? I'm trying to be that protector of that life and honor that life, because it has the right to live just like we have the right to live, right? Anyways, I just thought I would share that little lesson with you and what it means. So now back to this particular move. So I'm gonna take this and change this. You could actually make this as a tail. You know, you can make this as a tail on yourself. And then you could take this and put this around, and this is your tail. And then all of a sudden you can become a scorpion. So look at, I got my tail here. And this is my scorpion tail. And then now I make my scorpion talons or claws or whatever you want to call them. So here's my scorpion figurine like this, right? All of a sudden I have a scorpion. So there's that formation. So that's just me being creative with you guys and showing you different varieties of what you can do. So one bonus move is I'm going to show you another one that I've come up with. Out of that same move there, I'm going to take these other 3 hoops here, and now I'm going to bring them together much like the Hawaiians did, but I do my own version of that. And that's where I separate them like this, and I make a buffalo formation, which is really tough to do. And it really twists up the hoops. But there's your buffalo skull, just like on my medallion here, the buffalo skull. And then you could take this formation and actually make yourself kind of like an entire buffalo, where you're charging like a buffalo. You're moving like a buffalo. So you got the buffalo hump, you know, and you're kind of moving like a buffalo. So there's some formations for you. And there's the lesson with 9 hoops. So again, thank you guys for tuning in. I hope that today's lesson and what I have to share here with you is valuable. And like I said, it's in relation to my book. And for those of you that are studying my book, thank you for investing the time to read it, to learn, and to learn with me, because I had to learn a lot of these things on my own. I wasn't always a writer growing up. You know, I dropped out of high school at a young age, and you know, I was bullied in high school, and I really didn't like it there. You know, there was a point in my life where I hated life, and I never looked forward to going to school just because times were tough at home. I was bullied at home. I was bullied at school. I was picked on everywhere I went, and I just didn't fit in anywhere. And hoop dance saved my life in a big way. So I just wanted to share that with you, and thank you guys for taking the time to hear me out and lending me your ears and your attention for this short amount of time. So with that, I want to say have a good day. Thank you. Take care. Hi hi. As we say in Cree, Examaga, or we also say all my relations. A lot of time in our ceremonies, that's what we'll say, all my relations, and then they open the flap to the sweat, and then the steam comes out, and that's the end of the round. So thank you guys so much. I'm peacing out for now. All right, peace out.